All right, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the show. If you read the title, what was I really talking? I put resell in there, but I was probably thinking about YouTube too. Is YouTube really worth it?
Why? What happened now?
Uh, I'm eventually going. I make so little money on YouTube. I'm eventually going to move everything to Rumble. It's. I'm tired of. I'm tired of the censorship. I'm tired. You know, I get ringed with Amazon and eBay to where you can't take things. But folks, if you thought Amazon was, a little shady with their rules, they do things and carry on. YouTube takes it to a whole nother level. Uh, if you're keeping up with what they're doing to Matt Walsh, um, they because they tell you, and John will tell you this is a big lie. They tell you Amazon won't do anything to big sellers. They're trying to chase little sellers off. Big sellers will get suspended, and they Amazon. So
Won't care.
YouTube's the same way. Due to an agenda, YouTube YouTube's just demonetized Matt Walsh at the tune of $120,000 a month ad revenue was his share.
Mm.
YouTube gets 55% of that. So, you know, you think YouTube's losing that money? It's just going to go on other videos. YouTube's not losing in this deal. It'll just the companies will still spend it or whoever.
They're still advertising on his.
They're just not advertising on his show because it's not there anymore. Because he has decided to pull it down and put it and have people go other places.
Who is Matt Walsh? I'm not familiar with the guy.
He is a member of the Daily Wire.
I'm familiar with that. Okay.
Conspiracy theorist.
He did. He's not a conspiracy theorist. He did the movie. What is a woman? What's a woman's a conspiracy? That's an amazing film. If you go around the world asking people what's a woman, and they go, "Really?" And he is over in Africa, I believe. And he asked that tribal leader. He says, "Can men get pregnant?" The look on that dude's face. So it's just you get tired of banging your head against the wall for people that hate you and for people that the rules are constantly changed. This world that we live in is constantly changes, and the people that are in control do not have your best interests at heart. The sooner you learn that, the better. People go, "Oh, this and that ain't fair." Life ain't fair. Life sucks, and learn the sooner you learn to deal with it and try to come to terms with it. It's just frustrating, and reselling can be that way too. So why do I tell you all this? And there's a word in that sentence I just made that helps you get through all this. And I think it's one of the more important things that I talk about, and I don't talk about it enough. Customer complaints, they're a pain in the ass. I had one this morning. Old boy says, calls Amazon, "Where's my stuff? I hadn't received it yet." It says, tracking says delivered, dude. What do you mean, where's your stuff you hadn't received it? Tracking says delivered. That's a different animal. That's not a, "Where's my stuff? I haven't got it yet." That's no, it says it got here, but I didn't get it problem. Let's understand, don't put it on me. Don't show, so how do you deal with all this stuff? You got to figure out why you're doing this. Why? The question is, why is John put up with this damn big ass business as a headache and the Goliath he's created that he's trying to get out from under, and they keep sucking him back in? Why does he keep doing it? Because he's told you 100 times over and over and over, and it ain't about money for John. It's the fact that he has built this to take care of his family, and that is he told you that last week or the week last time he was here, that he can't walk away from it because his family depends on it. And so what keeps you going? The why in life. What is the why? And that it'll solve all your problems. I was bitching to somebody the other day about something, and they're like, we do this because of the why. I'm like, I know, but you got to give me 2 minutes to at least complain about something because I've already moved on. But it's a lot of times I'll tell something like a story to someone who I'm chatting with just because if it happens to me, chances are it's happened to them or somebody else. So it's helpful to see how people deal with problems. So how do you deal with the problem this morning? It's very easy. You have a template that tells them, I am sorry the item shows delivered but on tracking and it's not there. Please open an A to Z claim for delivered not received. Here's how you do it. And then that's it. It's pretty simple. I saw it last night when we were out to dinner. That's another thing you can do. Spend time around people who get it. Not everybody is blessed to have a family. Okay, so sometimes it can be a blessing and a curse. Ask Steve. Sometimes he can't relax because the wife is much more ambitious. I don't have that problem, so I have to find motivation other places. But spend time. Last night we went out to dinner with the Huntsville group, and on Tuesday, and this was the once a month group. There were 4 or 5 other guys that were there, and it's a good time when you can. We talk a lot about business. But one of the guys there is a YouTuber. He's not been active lately, but he's got a nice channel, does a nice job, and he had never heard of Amazon affiliates and the videos that I make for products until I told him a few months ago. And so, that is, I made a bunch of videos yesterday. I'm editing them. The other computer's right here in front of me, in case you can't see it. So I'm editing videos this morning, and it's inspiring to be able to talk to him about something else besides reselling, even though it's a form of reselling. But the why, folks. Why do you do this? Is it strong enough in your life? Does it push? Does it get you out of bed? Does it get you to deal with problems? Some of it's different than others. Ask the hand there why he does it. He doesn't have to resell.
I booked an Alaska cruise in September. That's why I do it.
What would you do me? What would you be doing if you didn't do this? You could figure out a way to pay for the cruise.
I'd probably
you'd be bored out of your
money sitting in the golf cart.
Troy Kipling, Troy Nippling. That's a great story. So AJ could have already signed a backup deal or another and made a lot of money as a backup. One of the better jobs in the NFL, folks, if you didn't know, is backup quarterback. You do the practices and everything, but for the most part, over the last 6 or 7 years, he got injured 1 year and had to rehab in Atlanta. But look at all the time he spent in Cincinnati behind a quarterback, Dalton, that never went down while he was there. He played 3 games in one season, made billions and millions of dollars. But the problem is what he told you. I want to go to the XFL and quarterback a team and play because I want my kids to see me play. I want them to see their dad being quarterback. He had a different why than anybody else for being there in the XFL. And when that is so strong, and he is such a good quarterback still, he led the league in passing and missed a game.
Lag wants to know if he sends me something, if I'll autograph it for him. Absolutely, Lag. The problem is, Lag, you'd have to give up your real name and address. And I'm not sure you're willing to do it.
He would just put it to a P.O. box. He'd put something.
We'll give him ideas.
Lag.
He could put loser. I mean, any Eagles fan, they're used to being called that, loser.
But yeah, another motivation.
I'd have to give Lag my address. Sorry, Todd.
Another motivation I have is this damn inflation, and I'm on a fixed income. If I don't keep my income, huh?
What are you, a commie? There's no inflation, dude.
Oh, go on.
It's the greedy corporations looking to increase their profit line.
Yeah. God. Grumpy is full of shit this morning.
He's just being.
I know he's being the counter party too. But yeah, I buy some gold and silver and just stack it up. So I'll have something at the end of my life, and maybe something to give my kids. What's wrong with that? I love reselling. It's the best thing of the.
Because they love it, and that's perfectly fine. That's part of my motivation. You know, not to work for myself and to find a way through this life is part of my motivation. But I do love.
The last 7 years, I've made 23 to 25,000 take-home pay after taxes, fees, and cost of goods.
Listen, 8 to 10 hours.
That's not chicken feed. I love it, and I don't work hard. Grumpy says, "Get off your ass, you go to work." Not me. I'm sitting on my ass. I do a little work while I'm sitting on my ass, but I ain't gonna work hard. I did that for 33 years teaching. Anyway, rant over.
So if you look on the bottom of the screen, Tamara, I don't know whether I'm raising or lowering prices. The repricer can't tell you how much I like RR is the best one I've used, and so if you need a repricer, there's my code. It'll get you some the regular free plus a couple of weeks plus it gets you a discount for the first 3 months.
Shoot, 24K, you could retire now.
Yeah.
And what is retirement? I'm dealing with this now. I mean, what is retirement? What is retirement for you? What does it look like? How does it function?
Yeah, I saw a guy, a TikTok or maybe it was a YouTube short of a guy he worked at Home Depot. He's 86 years old. I showed it to Johnny. I'm like, this dude doesn't look like he's 86. They asked him why he was working. He said, because his wife kicked him out of the house because she was driving her crazy. And he's the second or third oldest in all of Home Depot. And he worked in the paint department. And there's nothing. It doesn't have to be a reseller. It can be anything. He wanted something to do, some meaning to get him out of the house, to meet others. I mean, look at what happened. Alabama's got a great example. What happened? Anybody know what happened to Bear Bryant when he retired from football? They carried him off the field. He won number 315 to become the all-time college winning football coach at the time. What'd they do with him 6 months later? Where'd they carry him in 6 months?
To the grave. It's what they do with most people when they retire.
That's exactly what they did.
My brother-in-law's dad, Amish, all his life, worked his ass off all his life. Retired, moved to Kentucky, was dead in a couple of weeks. He wasn't working anymore. Work was his life,
Yeah, I think at some point your body's, you hear a lot of people that happens, and it's almost like they resign to completion of their life because that's what their life has meant. And then I don't think it's more than coincidental that everything shuts down. I think you got to figure out why you do this. People ask me how long could you resell? My grandparents resell when they were 83 years old carrying on because that's what they enjoy doing. I could play golf a little bit, but that's not my passion. What I enjoy the freaking yard sales. Unfortunately, Harlan had to go make some money at the flea market, so he wasn't with me this weekend. But man, there's nothing I enjoy better than out sifting through people's junk, even if it's an estate sale. I mean, people go, "Oh, but you're going through dead people's stuff." It's just stuff. At the end of the day, you just look at stuff is stuff. I don't really pay attention to the reason why it's available.
If the dead person wanted it, they would have taken it with them.
That's right. That's a great line. I'm gonna remember that line. If they would have wanted it, they'd have carried it with them. Oh, that's sad.
Well, what's he gonna do? Just take it all out to a burn pile? Because the family doesn't want it at an estate sale. They'd rather have just the cash that the estate sale company can sell it for.
So, Mister, glad to see you're awake early this morning, Timothy, out there in the great Northwest. Live a life worth living. Enjoy the day. I'm telling you right now. What it doesn't matter if you're a young fella like Resell King or older or like Todd. It's 100% true. You've got to enjoy what you do, who you do it with, and every day. What's important to you?
Todd, is that a Bud Light?
No, it's a Diet Coke.
Same thing.
Just as woke.
I know what it is because he has the same.
I only drink 5 a day. So, yeah.
If you enjoy the day, there has got to be some planning for tomorrow, Felix, but tomorrow is not guaranteed. Who did we spend time talking about was a great teacher in this business who ain't here? How many times we talked about Dusty last week?
Yeah, and his videos are gone.
Yeah, you think, oh, I'm gonna live on through videos? I mean, who would have ever thought that those two would have passed away, and it went all over the world, at least all over through Europe, of people being such hateful, sorry bastards that his kids had to delete the channel because it got so awful. Anybody ever dreamed that could have ever happened? You think, man, we're gonna make all these videos, kids are gonna be able to watch and do whatever? Because I know there's several people.
I hope they didn't delete them.
Oh yeah, when they took everything down, deleted the channel, it's done. Gone.
They can't get it back. They didn't put it on private.
I don't think they did.
Man, that's
I understand the reaction to it. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was so hateful so fast that
I'm not sure I agree that was the right measure, but for them it was. For me, I would probably have played it different. But it is what it is. I mean, the point is that who would have thunk it?
When you die, you take everything that you know with you. If you don't share it with somebody else, you take it with you.
That's my regrets in life. I tell you, I don't have a lot of regrets. I lost a father I was 18 years old when I lost a father. I hear stories of him and his life through his brothers and sisters. I there was never, unfortunately, the Zilke curse is, we're not emotional men, so we don't, and there's not a ton of sharing. So even as a young person, never had a chance. You figure maybe that would happen as you grow into old age and spend time, but I didn't get that chance. My dad died at 43 years old. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, I'm just saying that I hope that they did just turn it private, but when you're in the midst of things and stuff, and people are coming at you from everywhere, and everything's just a disaster, I can see where not understanding, because you got kids who didn't do YouTube, so I can see where a channel gets deleted and it's done.
That's right, Ron. Wow, Ron and I are exactly the same age. Holy cow.
Man, y'all are old.
I'm telling you. Class of 74, dudes.
Yeah, so spend time doing what you want to do. It's a lot. I have some negatives about I should have done this, or I should have been smarter with this. But when you don't have a father figure, and you don't have the people in your life, that can help advise you with money, can help advise you. I should not have stayed in restaurants 25 years. I should have cut that shit short early on. But you don't have the influences in your life, and you're very spoiled now. You can go on a phone, a computer, anything, and find out information. This generation does not understand how, and it's very frustrating to see a generation come up who've always had cell phones, who's always had everything, and been given everything and doesn't understand the advantages they have, and they don't take the. A lot of them do. You see a lot of great young people. Jacobs in the chat, Scan to Freedom, entrepreneur minds, and people who take advantage of technology and make their way through this and understand that the time they live in is a take advantage of what's available. You want to resell in the 70s and 80s, go to a flea market or put it in a want ad, or put a yard sale in a want ad. That's your options.
Oh, what the hell was that magazine you used to put it on the back of?
Oh, we talked about that, the nickel thing, or like the wooden nickel, or a lot of places had those, or you had local things, but or AM radio, but you didn't. Flipping dimes. Those are the only ones. So if somebody was smart enough with these computer things, I bet you could go back and get some of the videos if you had, because I think for the Wayback Machine you have to have the exact address, because nothing is ever completely lost on the internet. So yeah, it was Swap Shop AM radio, though. The thrifty nickel.
The thrifty nickel, that's what it was.
I came up with a wooden nickel. What the hell? But why do you do this? What's important, folks? It will get you through. There's so many people who are you can't even turn on any of the social media without, oh my God, sales are terrible, and they don't have the ability to look at it and go, maybe I'm part of the problem. I can't imagine that as times get tough and people get their purse strings tighten up, they don't buy collectibles, but I sell all glassware. Glassware is dead, been dead. There are some exceptions, and people can come in the chat and tell me, oh, but I sold this vase. I'm glad you sold it. It's what you sell, prices. It's understand, channel the passion, as why you do this becomes important enough for you to look at your own self and evaluate your own account to understand, hey, I need to figure out why sales are slow.
But sales may be slow, and that's okay. If you sell high-end glassware, Felix sells the high-end watches. As the economy tightens up, there is still a group of people that are going to buy in that market.
Correct.
Rolls-Royce doesn't advertise because they don't need to. In good times or bad times, they have sales for Rolls-Royce because there is a market that can afford to buy that vehicle at all the times. When you're reselling, if you're doing this for a living and the market and the economy starts to turn, you have to find where the people are buying. If you're doing this for a living, if you're doing this as like Todd, who does it for an additional income or to fight inflation or whatever, you can do it differently. I watched Ben Mala yesterday. He had an interview with Graham Stephan, 30-minute interview. It was the first time he talked without yelling and screaming, and the aggressive personality he has. He talked about his real estate and where he's at and what he did and the mistakes he's made and the things he wished he could do differently. If you look at all of those things, it's about what you need in life, not what somebody else needs. And if you find your market, you do very well.
Yes,
yeah. Okay. Felix has a point. I mean, but that's not. That's a different kind of marketing. I'm talking about TV commercials and the stuff you see that Ford and GM and even Mercedes does.
But that's the key to it all, John, is if this matters to you, if reselling, if it's your passion, if it's what you want to do, you figure this stuff out. You figure out you're into the game enough where it's important enough for you to understand times are changing. that's the thing that kills me with you see a lot of people go, I just do what I do and I always do and I do it the same way. But today and tomorrow are different times. They are circumstances change drastically. Um, you know, who thinks 2.5 years ago, we were coming out of the pandemic and the economy is starting to rock and roll again, and the presidency will be stolen and they will come in and purposely crash the economy of the United States of America. Who saw that coming? You don't believe me? Go back and look. At this time through their presidency, President Trump had signed 55 executive orders. Obama had signed 39 or 40. There are almost 300 been signed so far out of a presidency that doesn't have a mandate to rule the country because it was stolen. Did you ever dream in your life you stand in the United States of America where it's more the thing in the business thing in the government is more important that we please China? Anybody ever think that was coming? But I don't lag. I'm past giving a fuck. They can take this show down. I don't care. They can put a strike on this account. I just don't give a fuck.
Yep. And isn't it your birthday too? I believe so. Happy birthday.
I mean, I try to stay out of politics because I'm trying to protect this account, and so much of this affects what we do every single day. It's created the market you're in. All of this crazy shit has created the tsunami that we must live through.
Yeah, but you can't.
Orville Search Group, I'll ask you a question real quick. Unless you've got a pretty decent sized following, doing a YouTube auction for eBay items is not that great. The one thing I would tell you is if you want to do that kind of stuff, you're much better off building a following on Whatnot or using platforms. Depending on what you sell, Poshmark has those things. That was a thing a few years ago. People notice it very quickly and they go, well, what if we make a platform that does that? Whatnot is your answer for that kind of stuff. YouTube is best for just
educational stuff. If he really wants to do that, yeah, that'll work on YouTube.
Right. So
you'd have to have a following of probably 20,000 before you could do a successful YouTube auction.
I've had some decent ones with my small following, but nothing to write home about for sure.
It's a lot of work for not a lot of return. I can tell you that.
But you have to have some kind of balance with the politics too. You can't, and Scott knows this, and I've told him this before. You can't let it eat you up. You can't let it be.
100%. But you have to stay in it enough to understand if you can apply it to your business and try to see where things are going. Lag tells you right now sales are up. That's not an accident, folks. I'm up in sales. John's up in sales. It's not an accident to be up right now.
I'm over $1 million already this year.
There's got to be planning. You got to understand what you're doing. What did I tell you 18 months ago? And I do it wholeheartedly. I told you I was switching a lot of my stuff to used. It's where I love to do. It's my passion is finding used stuff. I sell probably 50 to 6% used items now. And I truly believe even in the next few years, that market is going to continue to expand because, right now right now we can get chips. Anybody paying attention to Taiwan? China seems to be circling Taiwan right now. If Taiwan makes it to the end of this year, I'd be shocked without China taking it back. Do some research where the chips for everything we use comes from, folks. and how many of them come out of Taiwan. Understand it. The economy is, and the part of the economy I don't understand is I know they're continuing to print money, but so many people are out of the workforce. They are laying off left, right. I mean, are you paying attention to how many people are getting laid off right now? They are, as they talk to you about a fake dude on a fake beer can. That's a match made in heaven. A fake dude, a fake woman, and a fake beer. That should have worked. But
let's talk about that for a minute. Here's the thing with that.
I think it's a distraction. I think
it was, but
who owns it. This is.
Yeah, I know they have their agenda, but what I'm saying is we can learn from this. Budweiser screwed up, plain and simple. In the American people's eyes, they screwed up.
They didn't know their customer.
And they came out and they said the people at the top didn't know it. Well, every freaking redneck in the world, whether they believe it or not, know that the guy at the top knew what was going on.
100%.
If Budweiser would have come out and said, listen, we fucked up. We didn't know our market. We won't do it again. And we're going to fire the VP of marketing, which they did anyway.
Her boss, yeah.
It would be all over. None of this would have taken place. If you stand up and say, listen, I fucked up. I made a mistake. Most people will say,
that's the problem. That's the problem with Bud Light. They haven't done that yet. They haven't
done it. What I'm saying is you need to learn from this in your business. If you fuck up with a customer and you send them the wrong item or whatever it is, the first thing you got to do is own it. Oh, the post office did it. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear the truth. If you screwed up, you screwed up. Own it.
So I'm seeing conflicting reports. Lag says Budweiser stock's hit an all-time high.
Well,
I've seen others say it's low.
Lag is telling you a half truth. He's telling you what everybody else tells you. He's telling you a half truth. Lag, let's understand. Lag, tell him the truth. It was there before this shit happened. Budweiser stock's at an all-time high before this shit happened. The problem with Budweiser is you don't get sales numbers until you're in a quarter. They're not going to get sales numbers until this summer. Everything coming out of the distributors this week, if you do any reading, Budweiser sales are down 17%. What is going to happen in June and July when these sales numbers come out and it is a cater?
See, people don't understand that.
It's not since the commercial. It is. They were at an all-time high before the commercial.
The market will not adjust the pricing of Budweiser until
they're running.
Their new sales numbers come out.
They're running.
When the new sales numbers come out and the profits come out for Budweiser, then you'll see a drop in their stock price. The stock market is a much different beast than a media pulse or what the society believes. The stock market reflects what people believe in the company. Right now, everybody's sitting on the numbers saying the sales are up because that's the latest numbers that they have. They don't have what actually is going on today with Budweiser.
Remember, this happened at the end of one quarter to the start of the next. And so the full effect of this thing really didn't kick off until the very first week of quarter two. In this summer, I understand, Felix, that most of the time I would agree with you that any kind of publicity, this right here is not a rebrand. This right here is a good chunk of their customers will they will lose.
I don't know. Rednecks ain't that smart, dude, that they'll lose them forever.
It's too, when it's too easy to go, I'll take Miller Lite or Coors Light. If you're going to drink an American,
it's water to me.
You're drinking a domestic light beer, there's not that much difference.
You just they all you might as well. You ever see how they fill them freaking bottles? They all do the same thing. They go to the urinal and fill them up at the urinal. It's piss water.
Like they can say what they want to. I'm telling you, sales. I've been listening to people who know for the last couple of days. They're averaging 17% down since this thing happened.
I think it'll level off after time, to be honest with you, because
it will level off.
People have short memories. Back in the 80s, we were boycotting Procter and Gamble because they used Satanistic whatever. We're still using Procter and Gamble today.
Understand who they forced out Tucker. Somebody's talking about Tucker. Who lost in that deal? A conservative voice was. They think they silenced a conservative voice. You know what they really did was they unleashed the bulldog. They unchained a bulldog. He was stuck on a contract where he can only say certain things at Fox News. He has a huge fan base. You know, they did it with Blaze TV. They did it over there. Did he go away? His voice is just as strong.
Does anybody else
find it? Dominion sued Fox News. Who lost? Oh, Fox News had to pay $800 million. That's what they sell it for. Who lost in that deal? No fucking body. BlackRock owns over half of both of them. BlackRock sued BlackRock to get rid of a conservative voice. Understand what's happening.
Does anybody else find it weird that he and Don Lemon were let go the same day? I know it's different companies. I know it's different.
But I don't know who this Lemon dude is.
He was on a black fellow on CNN.
He was like he wasn't. I would guess he would be the opposite of Tucker, basically.
Understand if you watch Don Lemon 2012-13, he was not a bad anchor. He was not a bad opinion person. He would tell you his opinion on what he thought was wrong with the black community. Most of the time, he would tell you something that would halfway make sense. In he got Trump derangement syndrome so bad, when he went off the deep end, he needed to be gone because he couldn't say anything that made any sense. Sadie, the problem is with that. It is Tucker was given access. Him and his producer, they have those documents still. The video they have, and Fox was not letting him play a lot of those videos.
Where's he go now? Newsmax, or does he start his own thing?
I think he starts his own thing.
Dude's got $500 million, dude. Listen, we don't need the job.
Right. You know, he doesn't, but he wants to speak. I know he does.
Yeah,
but he's out of a contract now, so I don't honestly, I don't see him. If he's smart, he will not sign another contract because under a contract, they have control of what you can say. Whether at this moment in time they want him to say what he wants to say or not, that doesn't mean 6 months from now or a year from now he doesn't get pinned back on a different topic we don't even know about yet.
The only contract would be something like if he joins Blaze TV where he can say and do what he wants to. That, you know, but I think he forms his own thing like Blaze, or he does the Steven Crowder thing where he's to an alternate media like Rumble who allows you to say whatever. But
Fox won't take down Tucker's specials.
Of course not. They'll still make them money.
Profit. Remember, they need money.
Yeah, they're not.
They own those. They're. Why would they let them go?
Yeah, they did. Felix, this is not the first time Fox has done this. This is a matter of fact, this is the third or fourth time they've done this.
Tucker may go to some place like Twitter. Tucker may line up with Elon Musk or somebody like that, because where he knows that they want the same thing.
Remember, Felix is we don't always see eye to eye. He's not going to MS. We don't always see eye to eye. He's not going to MSNBC.
He's going to take Don Lemon's
Tucker's
place.
not the first one. When they did this to Glenn Beck was the first one. They did this to Glenn Beck. For those of you who don't watch history and repeat it, Glenn Beck's audience was bigger than Tucker's at the time. Right now, when they did this, Glenn Beck. Don't forget this. This is not Fox's first time. They took down O'Reilly. O'Reilly's audience, remember, and Glenn Beck's audience was at 5 p.m. It was not in prime time like Tucker is. Glenn Beck was a monster when they took him down. O'Reilly, and you can even make some parallels to what's her name, Blondie.
I know who you're talking about.
What's her name? I was just watching her yesterday. She was talking about it.
It seems like these big media companies, if they want you to be removed, you will swiftly be removed.
Remember, the people who pull the strings, Tucker was the last voice before a 2024 election that will call out what they were doing.
Megyn Kelly,
that's it. That is the reason. That is why this has happened. It's not. Looks like you got blocked. Yeah. But nobody blocked you, Lag. Who are we kidding?
Like, we would have blocked you a long, long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody put him in timeout.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have the actual YouTube stuff on.
For 300 seconds, he was in timeout.
All right, fess up. Who put Lag in timeout?
Oh, I think I know who did it.
I saw who did it, but I'm not going to say.
It wasn't me, but I would have. There's times I'd have done it. Free speech for Lag. No. We got to keep him on a freaking leash.
Free speech until we decide not to. How's that?
Hey, Lag, let him fuck with you now.
You didn't give him a wrench, did you?
No, you didn't.
Let him fuck with you now, Lag. And that's the next voice. How many people they told you over and over Alex Jones was crazy because they needed him to shut up because he said, okay, so maybe he was crazy about the fucking aliens. That's yet to be seen. But how many things did Alex Jones tell you came true?
There was some.
Quite a bit, as a matter of fact. Quite a bit. Jim W., go back and do your research. They own 54% of Fox and 48% of Dominion. The numbers on somewhere in those numbers, they were both right at half on those.
Get them, Phil.
They're gonna make me go back and figure out who did this. Whoever it is does not have the cojones to tell me that they did it.
I saw who did it. You can ask me after the show.
I don't have to ask. I can go back and see. It shows me everything.
Yeah, you can go back.
Did you see it?
Yeah. Just folks, if you think of the power, look at what they've done to Alex Jones. Understand, go look at the court cases of what they did to Alex Jones. The judges went in, told him he didn't have a defense, he was guilty, and put it to sentencing phase, folks, and said you owe those people $1 billion or some crazy shit. Go look at how bad that case was, and it's going to get when it gets thrown out of appeal, which it will. They were trying to bankrupt him so he can't appeal and do these things. That's what they're Go look at what the judge did in the Alex Jones case and tell me that Alex Jones is not right more than he's wrong. And they want to shut him up. They tried to force him off the internet. It's that's why you. What's Tucker's why? Go look at Tucker's background. Tucker's dad married into the Swanson family. Tucker enjoyed college. Tucker enjoyed everything. He was until he remade himself to who he is. Go look at his college career. He drank his way through college, folks, and partied and carried on. He enjoyed college. Go look and understand.
Yeah, but you also got to look at this for you have to look at it from a biblical perspective too. You have to see that, and I talk about this a lot. The Jewish faith, they live in the Old Testament times, and community was a big thing, and you do within your community. And when you have somebody in your community that you don't fully agree with, they put them outside the community. You have to see your community and work within your community too. I mean, you can't take on world issues without a world level voice. Somebody like Tucker can take on world issues. We have to look at things within our own community. How do we change our community first so that we can change things on a larger scale as we start to scale this out? You can't just be a mouthpiece. Yeah, you have to start within your community to make the changes you want to see.
No, Mama. No one here is saying that Sandy Hook was a hoax. Absolutely not. Nobody's saying that crazy.
Sandy Hook was a hoax. What are you?
No, that's what got Alex Jones in trouble.
That's what got Alex Jones in trouble. He had someone on there who was hook, line, and sinker, and so it was like a couple shows, and they talked about it, and then after Alex figured out who the guy was, he goes, "Man, this dude's crazy," and he denounced all of it, but it was too late. When they want to go after you for something, the lies that have been told in the name of Alex Jones are amazing.
We all get it wrong sometimes.
Correct. Everybody. The problem with all this and all this stuff that's happening is it's almost like they need to come up with a bigger distraction to hide what's really going on. And so you need to figure out what's important. How much of this truly affects your life? How many of these rabbit holes do you go down? And what does it take for you to stay focused in your business? What does it take to say? I mean, I understand that, that's the fight that I've been fighting, is trying to figure out how much information is too much, how much, because if they can suck you into all this crazy, you can go down rabbit holes and look and go, man, 5 hours ago.
On both sides. Let's make it clear. It's on both sides.
It's not, because
it can be a time suck
nobody on the left is paying any attention either, because they're, oh my God, look what they did to so and so, and they keep these people in an uproar, and they don't understand that the days of their lives are going by. They're the things that they should be focusing on for their, it's
listen, both sides want anybody 40 plus dead, because they can influence the younger generation very easily. Both sides.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to go down those rabbit holes and start believing in something that isn't true. Last Sunday night I did a
Bigfoot
show. I really did. I was interviewed for a Bigfoot show about something that happened 9 years ago. There's a photo that was floating around, and nobody really knew about it, but it came to my attention from a lady who was in our little group at the time. And so I interviewed this guy, and I really believed in what he was telling me. And this photo was really good. And so we did a whole show about it. I did a whole blog article about it. It blew up overnight. It was a hoax. It it was a good hoax. And here's the thing, I was always a hoax buster, right? But yet on this particular one, his story sounds so good, I believed it. I had to get away from that stuff. It's the same with politics. You get so enthralled in a story.
You need to have someone like Harlan's talking here. That stuff, there's a lot of ways. I'm telling you right now, there's so much of this stuff out there. Harlan hears it, and he's counseling someone, going, none of this stuff matters. It's important to keep up with a little bit, but don't lose focus on your life, on the things. I try now to filter this through business and through how it fits me, and what do I need to do to continue my reselling and all these things. I watch Redacted quite a bit. I like that guy. You can get so lost in all this stuff, and then the same people we talk about all the time. My sales are slow. My sales are this, but you see them in every chat of every YouTube live of everything, and you wonder, how much are you so sucked into YouTube that you don't take the time to work in your business? I understand that we provide a valuable service, and you can learn lots of things on YouTube, but it also goes the other way. You can consume too much and not use your time wisely. It's everything in moderation. I believe someone said that at some point.
Hey, Striker, how do you change the font? That's pretty cool.
I don't know. Never seen that. Is this the real Striker?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Mrs. Lady, it doesn't matter whether they vote or not. I'm here to tell you. Unless the Republicans play the same game, they're going to lose every time. Because it's not. You look at what happened in Arizona. They got out and mailed out votes, and so what did they do? They went and collected the votes and filled them out for them. If the Republicans not prepared to do that, they're never going to win elections. Understand that if you don't play and they've called this shit legal now, nobody is going to step in to help. There's no judge in this country got maybe one or two on the Supreme Court, but the rest of the judges in this country, very few of them got a sack left. They have seen what happens if you step against the narrative. Judges lose their lives, lose everything, get attacked. They see this and don't want this. And so I don't know how much control. At the end of the day, they're not going to do anything for the next 20, 30 years. It's enough to get me through my life. I need to live my life. I need to keep an eye on it, but I've got a business to run.
You also have an obligation as a father to help your son better himself for his life. And you can't get caught up in all this information and not teach him how to live his life. Because the kids are the ones that are getting sucked down these rabbit holes so easily. And I'm not saying that you don't, Scott. You know that. But as a general statement, you have to show your family how to live their lives as well.
Yeah, it's I don't. It's everything has gotten so complicated that it's very hard to run a filter through this and try to protect young ones. They have. Not many people think that way, John. They think that it's the state's job to raise these children. The state wants you to tell you it's their job. It's part of the reason we're in the mess we're in now, because one of the sayings I've always believed in: for evil to succeed, it just takes good men to do nothing. Right now, we are in times that look in the 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Strong men create good times. Weak men create bad times. And we're in one of those times. You don't believe me? Look around at the leaders of Canada, the United States, France. Look at these people that are leading. These are weak, wimpy men who lie, cheat, and steal to get there instead of lead with authority and lead as real men. And I'm not, and that's not to say anything about women. There are plenty of good women out there who are doing a lot of things. I've come, Tamara. Most like the more you check into the Q movement as a CIA psyop, if I've ever seen one, it's put 20-30% of people on the sidelines waiting for the plan, waiting for the plan. I can tell you one thing: as 20 or 30% of people on the right sit around and wait for a plan, the people who are wanting one world government and all this craziness that is the Great Reset, they've got a plan and they're going after it. They wrote a fucking book to tell you what they were going to do to you. Klaus Schwab has such balls that he wrote a fucking book and put out for the world to see, to tell the world what they were going to do to the world. Never. Yeah. And we're sitting around waiting for some secret plan that times always move, nobody's in control, and we're just sitting around doing nothing. Yeah. Harley said, "How's everyone's sales?" We were talking about sales earlier, Harley. Not everyone's down. You know that. Don't believe. Don't believe that you're down. The sales are all down. My sales were up. John's sales were up. Steve quit selling.
I didn't quit. I actually made more money this week than I did last week. So up.
I know Todd has had just on his live show. I don't know why Todd must be hiding from us. He's talked about really great sales for the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm up 30%.
That's not an accident, folks. You know, how do you get there? All this stuff is crazy, and we can go on talking about it for hours. I'll talk more about tomorrow night on Rumble. Beer to pick on Rumble. Well, I'll answer any questions, and I'll go off the deep end with you for a couple hours. But that's the limit to what I want. You know, 2 or 3 hours a week is all I want to give up. I was giving up 10, 12. I was giving up days listening to this shit. It's amazing that if you put your priorities in order to focus on you and your business, and even though things are bad and I wish they would change, I realize I'm not in a position to do it. So but I am in a position to change me for what I do.
You also can change the community around you.
That's one of the more underestimated things. The biggest effect for your business, I'm telling you right now, the biggest effect and change of your business, you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. It is amazing the voices of people you surround yourself with.
Nice.
You keep hanging out with that cat.
She'll eventually put her ass in my face.
90 days doing this easy. Come on.
You only do if you get double digits listening in a day, that's a day to celebrate.
That's right. But I've gotten some good stuff lately too. That's it. Beat the bushes at the garage sales and the estate sales. I got some good stuff for cheap.
Yeah, so it's instead of getting on a YouTube and carrying on, if you actually taught yourself a different category or learned to pick up different things or spent the same couple hours looking in your area to see what's there, Todd would, you go, oh, Todd lives in Texas. He can find all kinds of stuff.
Yep,
Todd
that's
quite
true.
a bit. He goes to an auction and buys stuff, but this ain't just right around the corner. It's a couple hours or what, an hour and a half for you to get to an auction?
Yep, right at it. Yep.
Yeah,
I live in the middle of freaking nowheres and I can find stuff.
So the excuse people have is the area I live in doesn't have it. What
You ain't looking.
What are you willing to do? Is an hour and a half too far for you?
Schreiker, that card should be put on your wall and mounted. Just saying. No, so all can see it.
And you got to pick what's in your area. We get lots of Western wear, cowboy boots. That stuff sells great.
And you sell a lot of military stuff too, which people go, oh, I don't know military stuff. There's a tag in it that tells you what the hell it is on most of it.
Yep.
The military is so crazy about tagging and identifying their own shit that they are very good about labeling their own stuff. But I don't know that kind of stuff because you haven't taken the time to learn.
And you don't even have to learn that. Learn something, learn
how to
categories. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know swimming pool parts from a man in the moon, but I bought 2 totes of it for $60 and sold it for $6,000. Winning.
It's amazing that nobody else bids on that. They get the 60 and go, I'm out. They were just trying to get a deal for themselves, and they're like, too expensive for me.
All you really have to have is 1 or 2 of those parts in that box be worth something, worth the $60.
All you have to have is one of these. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
It's not rocket. It really isn't rocket science to learn how to resell things.
Just start typing it in. Eric used to do Eric Weber when I was on shows with him. Used to tell people and explain how to do search, and it's really. But I looked up the so and so, and I didn't see any. But then you start very specific, and then start taking things out of your search to widen the search. It's amazing if you get misspellings. This is the model SX, and people don't put the SX on it, and so you start taking stuff out of a list, broadening your search just a little bit. But I scanned it, and nothing showed up. I could tell you this: go look for on eBay how many things people choose does not apply. I wish eBay would take the does not apply and shove it up their ass. There's a UPC and everything, but they allow you with no penalty to pick does not apply. And so when you scan an item using the barcode thing, because you get maybe a third.
You're getting partial information at that point.
If you're lucky, you get half.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, eBay's open to all sellers, and a lot of part-timers don't care to put in a UPC. It's not a full picture. I have taught my children who sell on eBay to make sure that goes in there, because that helps them in the future, and it helps me in the future. If I find an item.
Larry, that's the part I don't understand. People will tell you they live in the middle of nowhere. They live in small towns. They don't have the same opportunity. And the vast majority of us are going, I love small towns because they've got such opportunities because nobody picks them. Nobody does anything. If you live in a small town and don't own your own small town, what are you doing? We all look for your areas to come into because that's where the home runs and that's where the once in a lifetime. It's rare. You ever see a barn find in the middle of New York City? It's very rare. It's happened a few times that I know of in a warehouse. Barn finds are generally not on Long Island. Barns are in the middle of Ohio somewhere, West Virginia.
Back about 15 years ago, I went to an auction. There was a Volkswagen bus in there. I didn't have the money at the time. This is before the prices way took off. But it was in a barn. It was used to haul goats back in the day. Ran. They sold it for $800. Now that was a barn find, in the middle of Ohio, rural.
I think the
other stuff at
biggest problem is people don't. And I've been guilty of it, and I know with the auction and everything now, Harlan and I have gotten much better at it. We stop at every yard sale. It doesn't matter if they're pink ones or whatever, because, women's and girl stuff sells just as good at auction as the stuff that I normally find. It's amazing if you take the time to teach yourself what's available and learn. But I only got to 3 yard sales instead of 6 today. But I learned so much that you can continue moving forward. What's one of the things that I'm working on? I did 8 videos yesterday.
Hand out your business card, dudes.
I thought that was a credit card there for a second. We was going to steal your numbers.
Just name, address, buy, sell, trade. Hand that out, and I've had a bunch of private picks just by keeping these with me.
So the videos I made yesterday of items that I bought at the yard sales this weekend. Use them, make sure they work, and try them out and see how I like them. Make a review video. I told you that I've been making review videos. I've been slacking lately. I've been giving myself the excuse, you don't have anything new. Man, what am I going to make a video on, this and that? And I've got all this stuff that I just bought that I'm going to sell somewhere but there's a printer. Can you see it? Yes, right. It's above the white box. You can't. There's a white printer right there. That is an HP laser printer that I picked up at a yard sale. That has it's a 15W. It's got a great following. It's already listed. I was in the buy box last night when I looked at it. A used printer that I'm in the buy box. Imagine that. I like the way it printed. I looked at it, and I've made a review video on that printer. I just got to edit it today. Don't accept the excuse that I can't find stuff. I can't do this, because it's easy. I talk about it all the time, and I was accepting it in my Amazon affiliate video making. That when the stuff that I bring in, I'm like, why have I not made a video on this? Why? Amazon, if you look at the video report, will tell you these are the things you've purchased. They don't have videos. You should make videos on. And there were 15 things up there. I had made 0 of them. I've made 7 of them now. So, Joanna, I'm talking about Amazon influencer. So if you look on an Amazon listing and go down below the questions, there will be a video for the product. So it's on an Amazon listing. So as I make these little 2 to 3 minute videos, so say you want to know more about that printer. Well, the biggest questions are: does it connect to an iPhone? It does, because I connected this one to it. So can you print an iPhone? Can you print this? Can you do that? How long does a toner last? I didn't know that, but I just did some quick Google searching to realize how long a 48A lasts. So I put that in there.
Johanna has a good point there. Review videos do really good on YouTube if you're reviewing the right products. And tutorials on how to use those videos or use those products do really well. So when I do a review video, I always put the word tutorial in there too, because I do a tutorial along with it. And those ones get really good views.
And if you can do a decent review video, you don't have to show yourself in there. You can show hands. You can talk about it. But if you take the time to research the product and figure out what people want to know about it and can put that in it's not hard. If you look at an Amazon listing, that printer had 60 different questions about it. So does a good review video answers a lot of the questions. It takes a few minutes to write them down, put them in an order, make a little bit of a script. This ain't hard.
If I had the gumption and I wanted to, I would start a review or a tutorial channel today. And I bet you within a year that would be making me some decent money. Because It's what people want to see.
So that's the difference too, is if you understand that printer is probably good in the neighborhood of 3 to 5 years. This show here, after Friday,
nobody will really watch it.
I'm surprised there are 105 people. Let's do it now, because we did go a little crazy for a while.
It's our core.
But a review video, you don't have to be a professional. Harlan, you're still in the chat. You did a review video on your mattress. Were you even in the video? I've never watched it.
I watched this guy on YouTube. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen him and heard him. His name is Tyler Tube. He does some silly videos, but there's some review stuff in there. The guy is a dumbass. He's not that smart. He does them out of his garage. He's got a huge following. Huge. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but several 100,000 at least. He's a big YouTuber. Doesn't take an expert. You know?
But if you like making videos, if you like trying out new things, if you like, your passion, what is your passion? A lot of that, I like making the videos. I like doing those kind of stuff. I just need to get better organized, because
if I had a better studio set up, I would do them.
So like I said, they use AI to reply to a customer today, worked really well. That's man, that is coming. I've got it on my phone where I can get great answers on my phone and stuff.
You know why AI works really well? There's no emotion involved. Zero.
Right.
That's 100% correct. How many times have we talked about how do you deal with it? Remember, I had the customer who contacted this morning. I talked to you about it this morning. I've done it enough. It doesn't. I know that A to Z is going to rule in my favor. I know A to Z is going to pay us both out. It's just it's a quick use a template. Go, hey, I'm sorry this happened. Here's what you need to do to get your money and get your refund. And it's no emotion, no any, because the customer wants their item. They don't want to see your business go down in flames. They don't want to accuse you of stealing. They just want their item. They order an item. They want their item. And so you have to be the professional. So AI is, it's going to get to a point in the next couple of years where that computer that you're already dealing with it. So I called about this phone a couple of days ago, and because it will not send, my iPhone will not send a picture to an Android phone, and when I have the Android phone, it will not send a picture to Joni or most any iPhone. It's frustrating. So I called AT&T customer service. What problem are you having? I'm like, technical support. Please explain your problem, because you're talking to AI. People go, oh, it's just a computer. No, this is the AI you're talking to. I can't send a picture from an iPhone to an Android. Okay, let me get someone to help you with that. Would you like to go to our link to our whatever? No. And then okay, we're getting someone. And the person had a little thing. They knew what I was looking for, even though I repeated it again. AI is going to be the customer service. You're going to deal with AI, whether you care or not, whether you know it or not. Every day of your life, if you call the customer service number.
And it's just going to get more and more. Eventually, you'll be answered by AI that is speaking to you. It's not there yet, but it's coming soon.
It's a lag. I use AI to help me if I write blogs from time to time, and I always tell it to answer on a 5th grade level.
Keep it simple, stupid. I think that's John's philosophy.
Because that is the average reading and everything level of the average person is 5th grade.
There's a lot of money to be made in AI, if you know.
Lori, hold on.
Yeah, Lori, quit bothering us.
I've used AI to write eBay descriptions, answer Amazon customer questions. I've used it, but you don't even have to. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Now, somebody says you can write a KDP book with that. Yes, you can. However, she writes the descriptions, Tamara. If you write a book with completely out of AI, you have to say that in your descriptions. You can't just, or AI assisted, you can say, but if it's AI assisted, but they're starting to pass laws with this stuff. So be careful what you're using it and where you're using it. But like an AI, one of those AI picture generators, nobody owns a copyright to that because it's not human made. So you have to know the rules before you.
Some of them are going to a subscription based model. So to get the copyright protection, you need to have it's really cheap. It's not very expensive.
I want to tell you about good customer service on eBay. My son ordered some. He's trying to sell a little bit of stuff on eBay. He's doing actually some RA from Dollar Tree to eBay, and he's actually having some success with it. Not a great deal of success. He makes $5 here and there or whatever. But he wanted to order some envelopes, the poly mailers. So he ordered them, and for some reason the post office sent them back to the supplier. He didn't get them. So he messaged them, and they said they're not sure why that happened, and they've been having issues and whatever. So I said, well, this is something that most eBay sellers won't do. They said, see if they'll send them to me, because he was having problems with his address. It's the second time. They sent them to me. That's good customer service. And he said, he wrote a message back to them. He's like, I'm going to use you guys from now on because you did it. I told him to let him know that he actually got them, because obviously as an eBay seller, I'd want to know. I think that was packing supplies by mail. It might have been. I'll have to look and see who it was. It's the same people I use.
Okay, so speaking of supplies, a couple of people used the code yesterday. I do greatly appreciate it. I'm glad you're saving money. So Supply Hut, they're here on it. So why would
That was me
right now? Cool. Supply Hut, use code Bearded to save you 5%. Fast shipping, the cheapest boxes. I'm telling you, I use them. But okay, so I'm making videos yesterday, and it dawned on me. I wonder if there's any Supply Hut videos. So I look at if you're going to use Supply Hut, the code only works on their website, supplyhut.com. So I look on Amazon, and that all their catalog is on Amazon. There's no videos on there, and then when you go to the bottom, it says other products like this. So not only are there none of videos talking about these boxes, but they give you a video for who's the other one? The Boxery on some review videos on Boxery boxes. And so I contacted Charlie yesterday. I sent him a text saying, "Hey, Charlie, I'm doing this now. None of your box videos on Amazon have a video, and I'm gonna highlight these things which I love about your boxes. And so there should be a review video on most sizes, because I use like 8 or 9 sizes instead of the freaking Boxery that you can find links to down there. So not only why have I not done it, it's amazing whenever you start thinking about I'm thinking about making videos, and all of a sudden I'm like, why do I not have videos on some of the stuff I use the absolute most? It's amazing when you start doing stuff and you get new ideas and start thinking about it again. Yeah, they're easy. Their shipping is just stupid fast right now.
Somebody asked if I was still doing Dollar Tree and flags. No, I've been out of that a long time.
Yeah, I ordered bubble wrap yesterday. It already shipped.
And I like shipping gives you a UPS has gotten very good with their shipping, or FedEx, whichever one they use. You'll get 2 or 3 messages saying, "Hey, we shipped it. Hey, it's on the way. It should be delivered here." And then when it gets delivered, you'll still get another email saying the tracking is just as good as if you bought it on eBay or Amazon. They do a good job with their website.
Good boxes. I enjoy them.
So,
and they're usually very competitive on their prices too. Supply Hut is very competitive.
Everybody finally gets to see what Todd looks like.
Way better looking than I thought.
No wonder. Let's go back to looking at your hand.
Even Jenny approves Supply Hut.
Listen, if you guys don't, if your sales are down, I was thinking about this earlier. If your sales are down, you got to do like I do in my house. You got to find the price that the people want to buy it at.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a couple of them here lately of people in some of these groups saying it, but they'll put their store up there, and the first thing I look at it and go,
What you doing?
I don't know these items, but it feels like the prices are high. And you start looking up some of the solds and then give them some feedback saying, you realize that you're pricing, you're matching the highest price that it's sold in the last 90 days. That's not a problem, but it is selling every day for less than you got it for. And so you can hold out to be the most expensive one, or you can list it the most expensive, but put that shit on sale. Use the sales like Dusty did. But you've got to be competitive in pricing. If you're not competitive,
if you're looking to make money, you have to do what makes the sales. That's what made me different. I worked on volume, low pricing. Everybody thought I was nuts. I never looked up a pair of jeans. When I was selling jeans, I never looked them up.
For the record, I'll tell everybody, all 105 people watching, even though John is much more successful now than he ever was, I still think you're nuts.
But I mean, when I didn't look it up. I had a system.
Yeah. All your jeans were the same price, no matter what they were.
And it didn't matter if they were Levi's or freaking what was that pair that sold as soon as I put them up? Just my daughters or something, or
I don't know.
Whatever it was, some rare brand. As soon as they hit eBay, they sold. Yeah. I don't care. I made money. I was in a volume. I moved stuff for volume. I stored my jeans in a tractor trailer. Remember those days, Scott?
A John Deere? John Deere truck?
No, I had a trailer. I'm sorry, trailer. That 42-foot box trailer.
But D, whenever you've got so many of those, he would have so many jeans. If you added just think about it. If you added the time in to do the research, if you add labor to an item, you're adding to your cost, whether we want to accept that fact or not. Your time is money. And it also, the one thing John will tell you over and over, process. It's much easier to teach everything is the same versus you got to look it up and make decisions. If you take some of the decisions out and says, I don't care what they are, this is how you do it, this is the price is going to be, it's much easier to teach someone and have help.
And there are things that I would do a lot different if I did it again. But I didn't. I learned a way. A lot of people don't agree with the way I did it, but it worked.
Yeah, Orbital Search Group. It's amazing that so many people don't think that way. They think that they've done it always this way and it should always work. And they stick stuff up there and it's not working and they don't have the ability or insight to go. Old comedian Tim Wilson, I used to listen to, they say, if you've been married 10 times, hell, maybe it's you. If something ain't working, maybe if you've got a lot of returns, the first thing you need to do is check and see, am I part of the equation? If your sales are bad, am I part of the equation? Okay, so even if I'm priced right, but what happens if I put a 10% discount on it and now I'm the best price and they're going to move me up in search? Just matching the best price might not be enough these days. If you're in a competitive market, if 10% is going to break, if a 10% discount on a price is going to break you, you're probably not in the right business.
Yeah. All right, I got to run. My breakfast is ready.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Size of a saucer, you'll be right back.
Yeah, it's not even the size of a saucer.
What, you want them
I get one egg and half an English muffin.
No, it's half an omelet.
Yeah, it's half a 2-egg omelet. It's for breakfast. Half a omelet and one half of a English muffin. That's it. That's what I get. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
All right, buddy.
I gotta get to that point. I
Let's
will.
go, John.
See you guys. Have a blessed one. And keep selling. Lower your price if it's too high.
What if you need to higher your price because it's too low?
Robert, that is so. Robert Bowman says sometimes you have to take a loss on something you've had for a long time to turn over. That's a hard one for people to learn. That's a hard concept, and that's why when people talk about this show, they'll go, "I don't send new people here because the concepts and stuff y'all talk about is generally over their head." Understand that cash flow is king in this business, and if you've got something that's been sitting around and you've got it listed and it's not sold, but you can lower and lose $1 or $2, but move it and get your buying capital back. Getting the capital back, getting the space back, moving things is sometimes it's. You think everything that Walmart and all these people sell on clearance at 90% off, you think they make money on every one of them items?
No. I had an item this week that I've had in my inventory for quite a while. It's some quilting software for a very specific sewing machine. And it takes a very specific person to buy that. And it sells whenever it sells for $150. But I've had it in my inventory 6 months or a year. Somebody offered me $75, which is half of what I had it listed for. I'm not letting that thing sit around. I have pennies into it. It has a special dongle for a special sewing machine. So it went away for $75, even though it's worth double that. I don't care. I could have waited another year to sell it and got my full 150, or I can take quick cash now. And I took the quick cash now.
So Lexi says that she needs to start. She found the Monopoly game video, great prices at Walmart that year. Folks, I found that later on that year. This is a true story. I found that Monopoly game on clearance, and the prices, and so many people were in it, and the prices were so bad. I passed on that game on clearance.
It went down. It went down to quite a significant amount. I think it got down to like $7 or something like that, and it wasn't worth buying.
So, Mark, if you sell on Amazon, I would check the prices on Amazon. Use Blu-ray player, especially if you've got the remote. And it doesn't. If it's in physical condition, pretty decent. Only complaints I ever get is if it's got scratches. If it's in good
in the chat.
With a remote, check the price on Amazon. They're significantly higher on Amazon.
Heading your way next week, Barry.
Damn it. Strike one, strike two. Damn it. What is this gated thing you speak of?
I found that I'm almost gated in nothing anymore. A few textbooks here and there, but almost everything else I try to ungate, I get ungated in. And that's just time. That's being a seller for a long time.
I've run into a wall here for a few days, but
there's a few. There's going to be products out there that nobody can get ungated in. I think LOL is one of them. I can't get ungated in that.
So this is a good one here. So we've got the $5 Google. I bought this weekend. So I've got it over here at the desk because I'm going to test the speeds on it and see how it works and test some of the range with the phone as I walk around on it when I connect to it. And then I'll make sure it's reset. I will do a video on it and then list it today. You don't have to. Had this one, and they had 3 other ones. This is the only one I bought. I left the other ones because they were older model and weren't worth anything. But these are easy to look up. That little thing right there tells you everything. You don't even have to open the box. It tells you the model AC 1304. If you want to use the UPC code, I actually did open the box. This thing's in really nice. You know they're in nice shape when they barely take the tape off. And it's still sitting in this box. It does need a power, but USB-C was what it was missing.
Which is not a big deal.
Well, I think it was missing. I didn't look here in the bottom. Let's see what's in the bottom.
next weekend, if Barry will have me, we're gonna go do some yard sales, and I'm excited and can't wait.
Lag, you're correct. Amazon returns are crazy. It's amazing. You would think the pandemic and people would be. I'm telling you right now, asses must have gotten a lot larger.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
It's amazing that that ladies out there do not know that their ass is bigger than 2x. I got
It was a 2x 10 years ago.
I got 2 or 3 2x returns for being too small. I'm like, good God, too small.
Can't wait, Barry. Even guys do that though. I recently had to buy bigger pants because I've gained quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, I'm not buying bigger. I actually bought smaller pants.
But I had to come to terms with that fact, and I understand.
No, you didn't. I bought smaller pants.
I had to buy bigger pants. I had to come to terms with that. It was not fun.
So my favorite Costco has my favorite pants on a $5. So they're $20 now. They're $15. These WeatherTech, kind of water resistant. They've got a little stretchy in them, flexible waist, extra pocket, a zipper pocket, so I can put the car key behind it and just stick my phone in without it getting scratched. Worst thing to sell on Amazon is Yeti. Yeah, they send ugly letters, by the way. Yeti.
I have never tried a Yeti product on Amazon, but I don't think I would. I don't think I ever would.
So Lexi's Bed Bath & Beyond is going out of business. If everybody doesn't know, they've got to be out of business by a month, I believe, end of May.
All our local ones already had their sales. There's none around anymore.
So not only were they expensive to begin with, but now a liquidator has come in and raised. They call the normal price 25 to 30% above where they were, and so getting to 80% is probably the starting place to find.
I can tell you though, if you were smart, I'm sure we can let the cat out of the bag now. Bed Bath & Beyond was a great place to find some good selling stuff. It's not anymore, obviously, but it was.
Not every one of them had an HBA section, but the ones that did, they were generally very good.
I mean, quite a bit of money one year off of just Bed Bath & Beyond stuff. It's just another store that didn't change with the times.
So Lexi says some size are cut smaller.
Yeah, but women especially tend to buy the same.
On the listing of every one of them, it tells you that. It tells you right now that if your hip size is a 20 to 22, you need a 2X. So if you're a 26, don't be a 26-inch hip. Don't be ordering my 2XLs.
It's the thing is that most women, very nice shot, very nice. It just landed perfectly back there. It was like you meant to do it. I can tell you that most women, at least I know from my wife, she will go to 16 Walmarts to find the same brand. They're brand specific. They know what they're doing.
I thought you were about to say that Marsha had a 2X ass. Holy hell.
Oh, God, no. I would never talk
Steve's
about
about to be dead.
Oh.
A blade was going to come right through the door, right through Bigfoot, right at you.
She's not home. She's out doing Walmart Spark right now. She's making the money. She did $1,100 last week just on Walmart Spark, which is pretty good money around here. She kicked my ass. I did $750 doing DoorDash, plus my eBay money and some Amazon stuff. But she kicked my ass.
But that's the one thing is like I guess guys get so spoiled because the same size, if it's like what these pants I bought 36 30s, and I'm probably gonna buy 3 more before they go off sale, but I'm like, I'm gonna buy 34 30. Pants are the same. Pants are a 34 or 36 or 38. and one pair is the same everywhere around. And you ladies, an 8, a 10, a 12 can be anywhere from a 2 to a 20.
I agree with that. I used to.
Sizes and the women's sizes are
They're crazy.
Can we, for the love of God, can we have some kind of standard? It's not a bad thing that if you're a 2X, but as you should be able to order a 2X knowing that it's the same size and everything. I mean, is that too hard? If we come to a place where feelings matter so much that this company goes, you can order a large here when it's really a 2X. Is that a thing?
I used to work at a call center that we sold clothes, catalog sales, and it was the men's stuff. Boy, that was easy. They'd call, I need a size 32 waist, 32 length, whatever. Throw on a cowboy hat and some boots, whatever. Call over. Women's stuff, I had to know measurements that I never knew existed, and I still can't remember them all. It was, you'd be on the phone for 45 minutes just selling one bra.
So Steve, I have never even heard of Mountain Dew Zero Summer Freeze.
I did. It's
try
their new summer flavor.
I have not seen it, but
I went to a Taco Bell yesterday, and I accidentally told them that the drink was wrong for my customer. The order, first Taco Bell that I've ever had to make my own drink for my customer. Whatever. So I got Baja Blast, right? But it was actually the blue frozen raspberry I was supposed to get. So I told them. They told me to keep the drink. Who drinks that sludge? That stuff was horrible. That Baja Blast. I know it's very popular, but my God. I drank it, but it wasn't that good.
I like
I won't drink it again.
So D says that underwear has become smaller in the last 10 years. Okay, so here's a secret for us 50 to 60 plus guys here. I've got underwear that was before the 10 years that they're still the same size because I'm still wearing them.
You stretched them out. Wait, you're wearing 10-year-old underwear? Yeah.
Well, when you catch a deal on them and you buy 100 pairs in one buy.
Until they look like cheesecloth, they can hang around.
It was awful, but I drank it anyway because that's what I had to drink, Harlan.
and okay, so are y'all ready to see my next fun product?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna do a video about this one too. I ain't figured out how to do it yet. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Maybe it's because I haven't drank soda in years.
So I sit around and think, you know what? These underwear still got a couple more washes left in them, because I found some crop reviver ball toner on clearance. So instead of buying new underwear, you can just spray your sack some toner, and it won't fit through the hole anymore and stick to your leg, and you can wear your old underwear. Ball toner, Manscaped crop reviver ball toner. I never knew there was a such thing as ball toner, but there it is. Ball.
I'm trying to figure out the market for that stuff. I mean, I get they have a lot of commercials. They spend a lot of money on advertising, but I can't figure out who's actually using it.
Yeah, I got to figure out a good way to make a TikTok and make a TikTok and a YouTube short. This with ball toner. I need to figure out some way to make something with some old man nuts hanging out of my shorts and spray them and they go away. So Manscaped products, they've got products that you never knew you. And I like the pictures on the can too. Manscaped.
I mean, women have all sorts of products for their nether regions. Why can't we?
a good idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Did you see Roman's Instagram?
No.
There's some hangy down parts and bits, but it's funny.
I don't know if I got Roman on Instagram. I'll have to look.
Speaking of balls.
All right, we're asking AI right now, so. Ball toner spray is a grooming product specially formulated for men's intimate areas. It is designed to help refresh and invigorate the skin, reducing redness, irritation, and sweat. Ball toner spray typically contains ingredients like aloe vera, witch hazel. God, if it's got, can you imagine spraying witch hazel on you? Ooh. And camille extract, which is cool and nourishes the skin, providing a subtle masculine scent. To use, simply spray the product on your desired area and allow it to dry before getting dressed. It's a great addition to any man's personal care routine, especially those who are active and spend a lot of time in the hot, humid environment.
There you go. Couldn't have wrote a better description myself.
Witch hazel. Witch hazel makes the inside of my nose pucker up when I smell it. I can't imagine having it on my private parts.
Okay, so this time I told it to make a humorous to make a human one, a humorous one.
Lexi's done with the ball talk. Okay.
Holy shit. So this is the power of AI, folks. We talk about it a lot. We talk about it about making so here we go. Here's the humorous one. All of AI is really the strength of AI is the prompts. You know, can you make it change? Can you prompt it to give you the answer desired out? The hardest part. So here we go. The humorous. Introducing the Miracle Mist, the one and only men's ball toning spray. That's right. No more stressing over smelly, sweaty, or saggy balls. Just spritz and go. The carefully selected ingredients, especially designed for your nether regions, to work, refresh, and rejuvenate your boys, leaving them as fresh as a daisy with an irresistible masculine scent. So whether you're gearing up for a date, a workout, or just a long day at work, the Miracle Mist will give you the confidence to tackle anything life throws your way, including embarrassment from below the belt. Order now and feel the magic in your pants.
Feel the magic. Ooh. I don't know that I want to feel the magic.
Whether you're going on a date or just going to do a day's work. Yeah.
That's awesome right there. That really is awesome. It even came up with a name. I didn't tell it. Crop reviver. So Tom says he doesn't need to feel that magic.
I don't need to feel that magic either.
But it just demonstrates how can we use AI. We talked about it earlier. That's live and in person, making an item description.
And it's going to be way better. No, double check, make sure it's accurate, but it's going to be way better than you can do on your own.
Deborah, you just never know. She says, "Oh my God, what did she join here?" That's outstanding. Lag said he would buy it, but he's still searching for that magic. Oh my God, they have a beard kit. Can you imagine Yeah, it's called a what's their beer kit?
Real.
The lawnmower or some shit. They
Lawnmower
they call it
2.0 or some
lawnmower.
shit.
You see who that is?
Uh-uh.
Roman put this up.
All right, so
It's our favorite Bud Light girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense then.
what's his Instagram?
Just Roman Landsberg. No spaces.
Yeah, Roman getting some
LANDZ
followers.
All right.
BERG.
Would it be harmful for the female to touch it? See, all you would have to do is tell it to add some warnings, and it would throw these things in there. You could kind of dial that description in on AI. Remember when you're talking to an AI, it's a conversational. So until you change it to something else, I'll show it to you here. So it comes up and asks for what it can do. This is the shortcut that I've got for the phone. So you can type it in there, and then at the end, it'll put another text box there. So if you hit done, it'll end the conversation, or you can refine it to ask it to tell you something else.
Yeah, Harry Belafonte passed away.
Yeah, I think he was like 96.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, we saw that last night. So we've talked about all kinds of crazy. So you guys have got like 10, 12 minutes. What's the next topic y'all would like us to delve into? Because all you see is Todd's hand, so he doesn't care. He'll talk about whatever. Only person who knows what Todd looks like are the Lutherans, them crazy women.
Hey, if you look at my next to last video, you'll actually see that lady. She's at that estate sale.
How did I miss? I'm subscribed, and I don't know if I have.
Mark says there's some server issues with eBay. I haven't heard about those. Of course, I'm not listing daily right now, so.
So I know a lot of people complain about on eBay that last week things went a little kind of crazy, and then something happened Thursday, and it seemed to straighten out. And a lot of people had a really good weekend. I myself noticed that as well. Friday, I sold like 4 or 5 items on Friday. Normally, I'm good for 1 or 2 a day max, but 4 to 5 was a lot for me.
I think John put out a video on that. Flipping ain't easy. The glitch that was going on.
It's just, Ron, it's Chat GPT, but you have to go into. I don't know if you have an iPhone or not, but it's a shortcut on an iOS that I found in a video that I had to download. Watched a guy prove someone in a Discord room was a strong AI. He bombarded it with questions for nearly an hour. Who has 48,000 items?
John. Flipping ain't easy.
Oh, he hadn't got that much.
That's what I was assuming he meant, because he's the one who said
what's his name? My Boring Reseller Life. Yeah, there's no way in hell I can list that many. Not only can you not store, I would not be able to store that many, but to each his own. And just because a business model is not right for me doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's wrong for me. And so James, if James wants to have 48,000 listings and he's made a living for quite a while on eBay, and he knows what he's talking about. James is very knowledgeable on eBay. So if that's what he wants to do, hey, more power to him. I just don't. I can't imagine. I having a hard enough time keeping up with 600, 48,000. Yeah, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, Lexi, I get about I figure about 20% for fees and shipping.
That's what I say 20% on eBay, and I usually figure 30 on Amazon.
So for $50, you would get 40.
And then so that'd be less your cost. Because yes, for those of you newbies who've stuck around this long, hey, we appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up and understand that once you get to the fees, you still got to subtract out your cost of goods.
Cost of goods. And then when April rolls around, you got to pay 15, whatever your tax bracket is. My tax bracket is around 15%. I figured last year. Bye, Steven. Have a good workout.
Even if our server's down, doesn't mean all sales come to a close.
Yeah. Lexi, you just got to buy your stuff cheap enough to make sense. Make it make sense.
My problem is if you've got 48,000 items, how do you ever know that item number 41,000 the price is off? How do
There's some people who are really good at that.
They must be thinking about the postcard guy. Yeah, he probably has 48,000. What's his name?
Popeye?
Huh?
Popeye?
SM Mark?
Mark.
Mark's got, I'm sure, at least 48,000. I forget what he said he had, but he's got a lot. And Popeye has way more. But that's a different ball game there.
Yeah,
Postcards. When I list
list
postcards,
300-400 cards a day.
When I was doing postcards, it was nothing to list 100 postcards. They're really quick and easy to do if you have the scanner and everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if you get like Dusty's setup that he had, he could go through 200, 300 a day, no problem.
Yeah, I got pretty much the same. My scanner's a little bit less than his, but it's close. It's just the next model down, but it did the same thing. And me, as somebody who doesn't really like doing postcards, I was doing 100 a day. But I didn't, I'm not listing them now because I don't like it.
Mark, a lot of that is choosing the correct product. You mentioned the Blu-ray player earlier that you paid 15 for that you can't sell for 10. I don't know why you would ever bought it. No remote. I won't pay more than $10 for a Blu-ray player with a remote.
99% of your Blu-ray players, even Sony's, aren't going to be that high value. They're okay.
Hey, Glenn.
And there's some really good models out there.
I bought a Samsung Blu-ray player this weekend for $3 with a remote.
Now, I'll buy like an older one, a DVD combo player for more money, if it's the right one. But Blu-ray players, most of the time I look the model number up. They're not worth shit.
I don't always buy good stuff. I bought this at the estate sale Saturday on half off for $7.50, but it ain't worth crap.
Sometimes those really nice looking cameras you'd think are worth good money. Nope.
I know. It's a Nikon camera. Nikon camera.
The problem with the Nikons is there's quite a few years they all look the same, so you got to know what megapixels, what model it is. What model is that one?
Cool Pix. I just picked it up, $7.50 on half off. P100. P100. That's how many times That's how many times I pee a day. P100.
I'd list it anyway, get my money back and whatever, but
Yeah. And it didn't have the charger, so there's that. So if I buy a charger and then
yeah,
sell
now
it,
you're
yeah.
now at least even if you get a generic, they're $750 anyway.
The P100, the cheapest one on Amazon is $79.
Yeah, I don't sell on Amazon, so I'm sunk.
So you
No,
can throw that up for $39 on Amazon, because it's got a high rank. So if you put it for like $39, it would sell.
Yeah, but I don't know if it works. I don't know if I want to order the.
Okay, so
charger.
here's Todd. You need to be schooled. Are you ready to be schooled?
Sure.
I already know what he's going to school you on.
Because he doesn't need. You need one of these.
Yep.
This is made by DigiPower, but it'll charge any of the cell phone battery, any of the camera batteries. I can find you the link. But what it is if you see right here, the little prongs right there.
Yeah.
They move around, and so this part makes it any size battery, and then you put one prong on the positive, one prong on the negative. There's two little levers right here, and then you plug it in, and it charges any battery. So I bought a Sony this weekend.
I will always charge the battery that I have on that thing before I actually buy
The charger
to sell with it. Yeah.
So I bought this little guy here. I think I gave $5 for it. All these little Sony power shots are very good, and if it has the battery, it just I didn't look at to see what the pictures were. Maybe we got some. So I'm sorry, it's not a Sony, it's a Canon. If somebody corrects me in the chat, sorry. So I charged the Canon battery up, because Canon chargers, if you get the OEM, are expensive. And guess what? Ta-da! It works, because all I did was I'll show you how to. I got the battery here. Let's go.
Put that on eBay. It'll get a generic charger with it, but on Amazon, I don't know if I want to do that.
Here's your lesson, folks. Every battery has a plus and a minus. So most of the time, it's that two outside ones. The middle one is, I don't know what the middle one is, but most of the time so it doesn't matter. So all I'm gonna do is lay the battery down. It don't matter what side. That one goes to that one, and that one goes to that one. I just moved them, and then you move the big one there, and so now you've got a charger that fits this battery. You charge this battery up, test your camera, it works, and now I will invest in the charger because the camera's worth about $90. I know it works, and so that way you don't have a bunch of chargers that you don't know.
All right. Thanks for the lesson.
I always buy the chargers if they're alone at a yard sale or out of the bins at the Goodwill bins. I have a drawer full of camera chargers.
Yeah, I didn't turn you off right. There you go. But these things are worth their weight in gold. Generic. I'll find you one. Because they are, if there are certain brands that are too expensive, that one's a cheaper one. It works just like the rest of them.
Thanks. But yeah, I brought that up because I don't buy all the right things all the time. I don't know anybody that does. There's duds out there.
Lots of them.
I also bought this Minolta, but the battery configuration for it now is so outdated. I don't think it's worth a nickel.
So that DigiPower is too expensive. Let's find the. Let's just look up universal battery charger. So K-Star makes one for $7.99. That's probably the one I would get. Same. The nice thing about the K-Star is,
K-Star stuff is always decent. I've never had an issue with it.
yeah, they have a little chart. They have a little display on it that tells you when it's what percentage of the charge is done. So I'll put it. It's in the chat. Here's the case. $7.99. If anybody wants to look at it or buy one, that's the one I would buy. I'll put it in the private chat too, Todd. So
I'm ordering it right now. Let's see.
So let me share the screen. I'll show everybody what it looks like. Share screen. Settings. They call it present now. What the hell?
You want to sell it for even more? Grab a few 4 gig SD cards. Cheap. Throw one in with it.
So here it is. It'll have the same 2 little prongs that move around, and then the end moves up and down to make the different sizes. $7.99. That digital one was $54. So that's just dumb. But they're $7.99. FBA in stock, 274 of them. So, and I use K-Star for it. If I buy a generic charger, I generally buy K-Star.
I bought K-Star batteries and K-Star chargers and have never had an issue with them.
Yeah,
Gift card.
They're a generic brand, but they do very well. But that one has a USB. I don't know what it has a USB for. Let's see what the USB is for.
Probably power.
But it has a. If you turn it and look at the back, it just
has a plug.
Okay. It's a plug on the back of it. So
maybe you can power it either way. I don't know. I don't know. Can you get? Yeah, you get charged out of a USB. Enough charge. I mean.
But there it is.
And K-Star probably sells an actual charger for your particular camera too, battery.
Yes. So here's the thing I do. If the camera goes on eBay, it gets a generic charger. If it goes on Amazon, I generally put the OEM charger with it. Just because the customer's I'm getting a higher price over there, so I can afford if a generic charger is $8, the regular one's probably $12 to $13. So I'm getting 20 to 25% more in price, and so I will put the correct charger with it. Just trying to not have returns. That's my rule of thumb.
I'm watching this guy on YouTube or on Facebook lift 986 pounds. It's so heavy that the bar all the weights are on is bending. It's crazy. That's oh man. Oh no.
Yeah. All right. So that's all I got for you today. Remember, when tough times, why you do this will carry you through. Yeah, Mark, returns have been crazy. They've been absolutely crazy. I've been getting quite a few more than I normally get.
I'm barely selling anything, and I'm getting returns right now. One was a order the wrong product, and one said it didn't work. Okay, but they're not sending them back. They're opening the return request, but I'm not getting some of the stuff back.
I currently have 7 open on Amazon right now, and of those 7,
Mine are
only,
eBay, but
only 2 are coming back. The rest of them have not shipped them yet, and one of them is 34 days, so they have passed 32 days, so they have passed the time. And the other ones you can tell because they say auto authorize, which means Amazon said they can send them back, but because they get refunded on first scan now for merchant fulfilled. And this I'm only talking merchant fulfilled. They have not been refunded yet. So that means here's one that's 10 days old. Still has not.
if they wait more than a week, it almost certainly isn't coming back.
Correct.
And the last, I've had 2 returns in the last 3 weeks, and one is about 10 days old. I doubt they'll ever send it back, which is good for me. And they claimed the battery compartment was corroded when it actually had been, but I cleaned it, and I cleaned it so good that you couldn't tell. But maybe I didn't clean it good enough, but it still worked. It worked well. So, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my description, but they never did send it back, so they must have got it to work. Or they just saw a little bit of dirt in there and thought it was bad.
I don't know that it's scammers, Mark. I think tough times mean people are extra picky or extra whatever, or the regret. I think some of us regret purchases. I don't know.
Sometimes they just don't know what the hell they're doing. The one that's coming back this time is a car part. They ordered the wrong car part, even though my numbers were correct. It was the correct part for what I said the application was. They ordered the wrong part. But because I have free returns, they chose the right answer. Ordered the wrong part. I didn't get an item not as described on that.
Mark also got a Dymo come back. They claimed that it didn't work, and it works. I got one printer back because they said it wouldn't work on all of our printers, just one of our printers. That's a them problem. If it'll work on one, it'll work on all. It's just a USB printer.
Some people just don't know how to. I sold a computer screen, a laptop screen, and had the part numbers in there, had all the information they needed, the size, everything. And I sold that thing 3 times because people kept ordering the wrong computer screen.
Lag. If they're outside the return window, this is what they get.
Yeah. Now, I refunded that computer screen 3 times, and the 4th time it went straight in the garbage can. I don't need to sell it. That's what's going to happen with these car parts, too. They're going straight in the garbage. I have $1 in them. They're going in the garbage.
Yeah, I had a buyer on Monday. They've had the shoes for 50 days and want a full refund because they broke them.
No,
Nope. I
I've never
their
had one
niece's
like that.
baseball game.
everybody have a good day. We're gonna give you a roll tide, a thumbs up, and a
Sweetwater up.
because you got 3 guys that are at least 50 years old. One of us has to go to the bathroom. Probably all of us.
All of us.